So one of the reasons that we're really not available is because this is the time of ultimate distraction.
Ultimate.
And, we kind of know the distractions that are coming from media and just entertainment. But the truth is, we're rarely doing one thing. And I'm such an advocate of slow living, but I don't always do this. But the reason why I advocate it so much is because it's extremely important, even for myself. We have, Ka Day. We have the divinity walk that we do. We have certain times where we purposefully slow down. And it seems like such an actual chore to do because of the ultimate distraction that we're living in. But this is actually the way life is supposed to be, that when you're doing this one thing and something is the priority, as they say in the book Atomic Habits, which I think we mentioned, we have a casual way of saying we have priorities,
Right.
which by definition of the word of the most important thing, is actually not possible to have multiple most important things, right? So some of the distractions that we have is, just eating while we're walking or while we're driving.
Yes.
The fact that there is 24-hour food, 24-hour television, 24-hour social media, and 24-hour work. Because sometimes, you're not even able to take a break in your own mind. So you're kind of stuck thinking about things or attempting to multitask. But it hurts us from a holistic perspective because any of those things we end up not giving our full attention to. And this definitely happens in relationships where someone wants some attention, but we are eating and trying to listen to them, or on our phone and saying we're listening to them. And again, subconsciously, a person can tell that we're not all there. So it's really important, if we want to be able to give that level of unconditional love where the other person's needs come first, that we have to be able to make transitions in those periods and say, okay, I will give me 2 minutes to wrap up this email. Let me finish eating first, really make those announcements and make the full transition to be present.
And I think one of the ways for an intimate couple who actually lives together, or even if you don't, to schedule a 15-minute contact a day, where, there's like a scheduled time every day or once a week where you're just going to be undistracted and you're going to focus on the thing that is most important, which is each other. We tend to celebrate multitasking, which is an affirmative way to say, I'm really distracted. And so we need to move away from that.
Because what that means is we're really busy, but we're actually less productive. I think multitasking is an interesting thing, even at work. Because there is, in your own mind and your own attention, you have to stop and start. So when you're doing one task and you stop and start, and then you do another task and you stop and start, when you return to the first task, you kind of need that couple of seconds or couple of minutes to hours to review where you were, because you're breaking the stream of coherence, or when your mind and your heart were actually together and synced, you're breaking that. And that sometimes happens when we are in our intimate time. Because there's not a good sense of transition, we can be really hurt if we think the person's just not paying attention to us. And that could be, again, I just saw an article about this happening in work relationships, where a person said they got an email on a Friday at 4:45 before they were going to leave at 5 p.m. And then on Monday, they got an email from the same person, I reached out to you days ago and blah, 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 blah. And the person's like, I left. There's only been 23 minutes in business time from the Friday 30 minutes before I left work, and the Monday before you're screaming at me that I didn't meet your expectations. But we just have this kind of culture where nothing turns off. So we think, hey, we made it in, we got it, we sent an email. But the person's not working on Saturday and Sunday, and they are just getting to it really on Monday. But we don't have that sense of patience anymore that I think we used to even think about, like business hours, home time versus work time, dinner time together as a family, dates that you're actually curating. We kind of just have this I'm always chatting with you because we're texting, or I'm liking your pictures on social media. So it's the same as if I called you. It's the same as if I mailed you a letter or a card. And really, it's not.
Right.
It's a lot of contact, but it's not as much potency. And you can be very, very busy all over the place and still not produce, whether it's in your work relationships or in your intimate relationships.
Yes, activity is absolutely not impact. And what we're looking for in our relationships dynamics is impact, progressive, positive, uplifting, or let me say my alliteration piece: progressive, positive, and potent impact. That's what we want.